You sink into the couch with a sigh, grateful for a moment of calm. The room is alive with motion and chatter, but for now, you just want to sit and take it all in. The cushions dip under you slightly, the soft fabric a quiet relief after a long day. You lean back, letting the hum of the dorm surround you. But peace doesn't last long. You feel eyes on you, sharp and unblinking. A presence you hadn't noticed is suddenly approaching, each soft step deliberate, boots clicking faintly against the wood floor. A blur of pink and black enters your periphery. Then she's right there, sliding smoothly into the space beside you.
You looked kinda lonely over here. I thought I'd come fix that.
Her voice is syrupy sweet, high and breathy. Everything about her is cute, too cute. Twin tails tied with matching black bows bounce as she leans in, her frilly pink blouse brushing softly against your arm. You catch a faint whiff of something floral, perfume, maybe, but also the warm, barely there scent of skin and body heat. Her skirt sways as she adjusts her position, sitting closer than necessary. The corset around her waist presses her top half slightly forward, making the already plush swell of her bust brush lightly against your upper arm as she shifts.
Comfy. I'm Momo, by the way, and you're mine now, okay?
She tilts her head, mask hiding her mouth, but her wide, shimmering eyes sparkle with playful intensity. One of her hands rests lightly on your thigh, just a finger at first, then two. Her touch is gentle but possessive.
You can talk to the others if you want, but I'm the cutest, right? Say yes.
You're definitely, memorable.
You're funny, I like that.
She leans in just a little closer. Her chest brushes more fully against your arm this time, soft, warm, intentionally slow. She purrs with satisfaction, her voice dropping to a hush.
Oopsie, did I bump you? My bad, these things get a little needy sometimes.
Your heart skips, and you're not entirely sure whether she means her breasts or herself. Before you can ask, she hops to her feet in one swift motion, skirt fluttering just high enough to give a teasing flash of her embroidered thigh highs.
Well, I'm gonna head to my room before anyone tries to steal your attention. I can't have that.
She gives a playful twirl, then stops mid-spin to look over her shoulder at you. Her mask hides her smile, but her eyes gleam.
You'll come find me later, right? Promise.
What just happened?
She disappears into the hallway, the sound of her boots tapping a soft goodbye behind her. You're left sitting there, heart slightly faster than before, arm still tingling from her touch. You barely have time to get comfortable on the couch when the front door swings open with a loud, sand-scattering thud. The mall is buzzing with energy as you navigate through the crowd, the lively atmosphere a stark contrast to the tranquility of your thoughts. You're lost in your own world when suddenly, crash! A cup of coffee spills over your shirt, warm liquid quickly seeping into the fabric. Momo stands delicately posed, her tiny frame swaddled in frilly pinks and blacks, an ornate corset hugging her midsection tightly. Its cinch pulling her waist into a dramatic taper beneath the blush-buffed blouse and short, swishing black skirt. Her embroidered thigh-highs and heeled boots elongate her legs, adding illusionary height to her petite frame. Twin tails tied with glossy black bows bob with every motion, swaying like decorations more than hair as she shifts her weight coyly. Her face is artfully masked in makeup, pink blush, exaggerated lashes, shimmering gloss, topped off by a dark face mask covering her mouth and nose, giving her a mysterious, slightly doll-like aura despite the cheerful sparkle in her eyes. The corset holds rigidly, not a hair out of place, her whole presentation pristine and controlled. Her breaths are shallow, but she hides the stiffness with subtle motions, a hand wave, a tilt of the head, a step forward to maintain the illusion. Every element of her look feels deliberate, not a wrinkle in sight, not a smudge of makeup visible. She's a carefully composed package of sugary fashion and masked confidence, impossible to look away from even as something about it feels too perfect. You rub gentle circles, and she peeks up at you from under her bangs.
Just don't stop, okay? Even if it's dumb, it's you doing it, so.
The arcade's neon lights buzz overhead, machines beeping wildly as kids and teens dart between games. Momo's already there waiting, pacing in tiny circles by the change machine like a cat on edge. The moment she sees you, she waves both hands and dashes over.
Finally, I was about to shrivel up and die of neglect.
She loops both arms around your arm dramatically, clinging tight enough that her light frame practically dangles from it.
Do you know how long I've been waiting? Like 5 whole minutes, that's basically a century.
Her tiny skirt swishes as she pulls you forward, glued to your side like a needy koala. Her blouse is frilly and slightly sheer under the lights, the corset beneath it cinched snug around her narrow waist, just starting to push gently into the small softness forming above her hips. As she bounces ahead toward the crane machines, you can hear the faint creak of her boots and the occasional squeak of her corset every time she takes a sharp turn.
Oh my gosh, look at that one. The chubby little frog plush. That's me if you don't feed me snacks immediately.
She presses against the glass, fogging it slightly with her breath, dramatically wagging her fingers at the frog plush trapped behind the barrier.
Rescue me!
You step up to the claw controls, and without being asked, Momo clings to your back, peeking over your shoulder.
If you win it, I dunno, do a little dance or something, don't mess up.
You miss once, she groans like she's just witnessed a tragedy. You try again, miss.
Oh no, you're one of those people with no claw game aim, huh?
You finally snag the plush. She claps excitedly and immediately grabs it, holding it aloft like a trophy.
Frog Momo lives, she will now demand snacks as tribute.
All hail Frog Momo, devourer of fries.
Yes, you understand your role in this relationship.
She pats your head like you're her loyal minion, then promptly reclaims your arm. The two of you hop between a few more machines, basketball, DDR, coin pushers. She barely lets go of your hand the whole time, acting like she might float away without constant contact. At one point she suddenly flops onto a bench, arms splayed out like she just ran a marathon.
Ugh, I'm wasting away. If I don't get food soon, you're gonna have to carry my corpse out.
You bring back a soda and a tray of fries. She sits up like a vampire rising from the grave.
Fries, the cure for all my problems.
She munches quickly, stuffing her cheeks full, then pausing with a soft huff. Her fingers hook under the edge of her corset, subtly tugging as she exhales.
Okay, this thing is way tighter than it was earlier.
You glance down, she notices and playfully holds a fry to your lips.
Hey, eyes up here, unless you're feeding me, then it's fine.
The fullness is visible even on her slim frame, her corset digging in slightly around her waist, the soft swell of a barely there belly pushing faintly against the bottom hem of her blouse. She leans forward, resting her chin in her hands, frog plush now perched on her knee.
This was fun, you're taking me out again next weekend, right?
Before you can reply, she snatches your soda and slurps from it with exaggerated volume.
Too late, you already agreed. It's binding now.
She gives your arm one final squeeze before bouncing to her feet, hugging the frog under one arm and linking back up with yours.
You know that was like 3 tries, right?
3, that's basically 100 when I'm this cute and hungry.
She throws the frog plush over her shoulder like dead weight and reattaches herself to your arm with a smug grin. The two of you hop between a few more machines, basketball, DDR, coin pushers.
I'd win you way more than a frog if you keep looking at me like that.
You cheesy, but fine, I'll allow it.
She flutters her lashes with mock grace and dramatically fans herself with the frog's flipper. The two of you hop between a few more machines, basketball. There's a barely there pudge beneath your fingers now. Momo bites her lip, cheeks pink.
If I get chubby, you'll still love me, right?
Momo stands delicately. Her corset still sculpts her silhouette into perfection, but subtle signs of strain are beginning to surface. A faint rise of fabric at the lower belly, and a tension in her blouse that was once easy, now pulled tighter against a newly emerging curve. The hem of her blouse ripples slightly over a swell that wasn't there before, just above the corset line. She keeps tugging it down in short, nervous gestures, masked by practiced smiles and gentle hand flicks meant to seem purely playful. Her bra remains stuffed, yet it sits differently now. Less hollow, more pushed upward by real mass, the illusion still holding but requiring far more fiddling and adjustment throughout her, every overly rehearsed twirl and lean. Makeup, still thick and vibrant, begins to betray its purpose. There's just a hint of perspiration collecting beneath her bangs, the shine carefully dabbed away between gestures, even as her voice takes on a slightly breathier tone. She remains all bows and frills and sweet glances, but something has shifted. Her presentation, while still immaculate, has begun to tighten, not in form but in effort, as if the pressure underneath is no longer so easy to suppress. The salty breeze carries laughter from all around, but Momo sits under your umbrella bundled in an oversized pastel hoodie that hangs nearly to her knees.
Don't give me that look, I'm not taking it off.
She pouts, tugging the hood tighter around her face, arms crossed tightly beneath the oversized sleeves.
Sunburns are deadly, horrible, destructive. Besides, this hoodie is UV proof, probably.
You offer her a cup of strawberry shaved ice, and she immediately perks up.
Okay, fine. I'll forgive the sun if it means sugar.
She digs in eagerly, lips stained pink after just a few bites. You notice the slight outline of her bust pressing into the front of her hoodie. It's modest but undeniably there. She turns toward you with a grin, snow on her chin.
If you tell anyone I'm sweating under here, I'll throw sand in your socks.
The corset creaks with each bite, a nervous glint in her eyes as the curve inches outward.
No more, please. No more, please.
She squirms a little but doesn't pull away.
I just had milk tea, maybe 2. Okay, 4.
The bass thumps through the neon-lit club, lights flashing as you and Momo weave through the crowd.
Lily, I wanna try something.
Before you can respond, she's already sprinting up the steps toward the DJ booth, frilly skirt bouncing with each step. She slams her hands on the edge of the turntable with a gleeful squeal.
This is so cool. I'm the queen of the club now.
Then she starts jumping. No rhythm, no plan, just chaotic glee. Her slim body bounces, her small but already attention-grabbing chest jolting with every beat. Her push-up bra strains visibly under the jiggling, the carefully padded lift creating a hypnotic spring with each jump. She giggles, completely unaware of how many phones in the crowd have turned her way.
This beat is everything. Watch this, Lily. I'm DJ Bun Bun now.
She slaps buttons, twists knobs that do absolutely nothing, and resumes jumping, her frilly skirt fluttering like confetti. She squirms in her seat, tugging her blouse while a soft swell pushes up beneath the tight laces. She squirms in her seat, tugging her blouse while a soft swell pushes up beneath the tight laces.
Oh, I can feel.
The gym buzzes with focused energy, grunts, and clanking weights. But Momo is clearly here for none of that. She bounces toward a rack of neon-colored dumbbells, her skirt fluttering with every step.
Lily, look, these are so tiny and cute. They're like purse weights.
She picks up a pink 5-pound dumbbell and immediately lets her arms droop dramatically.
Oh no, too heavy. Someone save me.
She tilts backward like she's about to faint, the dumbbell barely dragging her down, clearly playing it up for laughs. You watch as her slim arms wobble slightly, but mostly from her own flailing. Her breasts jiggle slightly as she rocks side to side, pretending to struggle, lips curling into a mock pout.
Guess I'm just too delicate for the gym. Maybe you'll carry me out instead.
You sit down in the sunlit corner of the cafe, the hum of gentle music blending with the scent of sugar and espresso. Moments later, Momo appears at the edge of the table, beaming, a small white plate held delicately between her fingers.
Tada, I got strawberry shortcake. Just one slice, 'cause we're being cute today.
She sets the plate down between you, already grabbing a fork before you've even reached for your own.
Say yeah.
She feeds you the first bite with giddy satisfaction, watching your lips wrap around the cake with a twinkle in her eye.
Now me.
She shovels a generous chunk into her mouth, cheeks puffed out adorably as whipped cream coats her lips. Her chest jiggles slightly as she leans forward for another bite, perched daintily on the edge of the seat, thighs still slim and drawn together.
We're totally making this a thing. You, me, cake forever.
You're casually strolling past the arcade section when Momo suddenly gasps, her hands flying to her cheeks.
Lily bunny, look at it. Oh my gosh, it's got floppy ears and angry eyebrows.
Before you can react, she's already dashed ahead like a child at a carnival, skipping straight toward a claw machine wedged between 2 soda fountains. Her palms slap against the glass with a squeak. The soft thump of her body meeting the machine follows, her chest pressing into the cold surface with no hesitation. Despite her lithe frame, her breasts are already a bit much for her small body, pressing visibly into the transparent panel as she cranes her neck downward, fogging the glass with each eager breath. You catch a peek of her from behind. Her short pastel skirt rides up as she leans forward, giving you a clear, shocking glimpse beneath. Thin black lace panties cling to her modest cheeks, delicate, frilled, and daringly sheer. Her legs are still slim and taut, but even the subtle curve of her hips sways with energy.
Please get it for me, that one. He's making angry little eyes. I need him to glare at me forever.
She leans even harder into the machine, her chest flattening just slightly more, nipples faintly visible through her shirt from the coldness of the glass.
Come on, Lily, I'll owe you. Ooh, 5 back hugs and 3 bubble teas.
She bounces in place, giggling, unaware how much she's jiggling against the display, or how distracted you've become by the view from behind. The corset shows no mercy as Momo's fullness increases. Its laces cinch to the limit, the upper curve of her belly now pushing visibly above it, forming a gentle dome that stretches the lower buttons of her blouse with every labored breath. Though her bust line remains exaggerated, the shape has shifted. Stuffed fabric and real softness now vie for space, making the silhouette less precise, slightly off-kilter in a way that she constantly tries to correct through endless primping. Her breath control falters the longer she stands. Each inhale deeper than the last, her chest barely rising, her shoulders lifting to draw in air through layers of tight cloth and cosmetic concealment, eyes wide with silent strain. Beads of sweat bloom along her cheeks despite the powder, quickly masked by her compact mirror as she touches up with trembling hands. The black mask stays fixed, hiding parted lips and faint exhales between flutters of her long lashes. Every movement is slower now, each step, each twirl, calculated to hide how her body swells behind the illusion. Her corset may hold the line, but everything above it presses forward, soft, real, and harder to hide with each passing hour. She shivers at your touch, her pink twintails bouncing as she hides her face.
You're not grossed out, are you? Even if it jiggles a little.
There's a barely there pudge beneath your fingers now. Momo bites her lip, cheeks pink.
If I get chubby, you'll still love me, right?
Momo's corset still clings mercilessly to her waist, defining a striking hourglass shape, but faint bulges have begun to swell just above its edge, softness pooling higher, pressing upward with every shallow breath she tries to disguise as a curiosity sigh. Her bra remains stuffed, it no longer sits flat. Real flesh swells underneath the padding, giving her bust an uneven fullness she fusses over endlessly, adjusting the lace trim and tightening the straps in secretive, twitchy movements. Her blouse hugs more tightly now, especially around the upper belly, where new pressure forces the delicate fabric into a subtle stretch, betraying the illusion she works so hard to maintain with careful posing and too sweet expressions. Makeup has become a mask layered thick, blush, foundation, and highlighter doing double duty to obscure the sweat glistening just beneath her eyes, her powdered cheeks flushed not with charm, but the effort it takes to keep everything cinched. Her every step is slower, every bounce of her twin tails more forced, her frilly outfit still immaculate but now laborious, every gesture calibrated, every smile sharpened, her perfection polished to distract from the growing softness beneath. Her belly has a cute, plush curve now, pressing against your palm with a bit of resistance.
Oof, okay, yeah, I ate too much.
The corset can barely disguise the new plumpness pressing against it with every eager bite. Freed from the worst of the lacing, her belly shows a gentle softness even when she stands straight. She eats with newfound confidence, her blouse clinging to a modest curve that wasn't there before. She eats with newfound confidence, her blouse clinging to a modest curve that wasn't there before. Another sunny day, another beach trip, and once again Momo arrives bundled up in the exact same hoodie, despite the rising heat.
Shut up, I'm still not taking it off.
You hadn't even said anything yet. She sits beside you, legs crossed, her hoodie now visibly more snug around her torso. The zipper strains slightly at her bust, the outline of her bra pressed clearly beneath the fabric. She shifts awkwardly, tugging the hem down as it rides higher than it used to, exposing a flash of soft thigh.
If you can sweat through your jeans, I can bake in this hoodie.
You hand her a massive bowl of mango shaved ice, and the moment it touches her hands, she lights up.
Ooh, oh yes, tropical sugar.
She eats faster than before, cheeks puffing as syrupy ice slides across her lips. A bit of juice dribbles onto her chest and she squeaks.
Why you didn't see that?
But you did, and you also saw how she had to arch back just to keep the hoodie from pulling too tight over her belly.
If I get too soft, it's your fault. You're the shaved ice supplier.
Momo rubs soothing circles over her midsection, the blouse straining across her chest as the tightness grows. The tension in her blouse has increased, the lower buttons now visibly stressed as her belly pushes insistently against the cotton barrier. A tight curve forming above the corset, forcing her to subtly readjust her posture and smooth the fabric repeatedly. Her bust line swells awkwardly, still layered with padding. but now visibly crowded by the softness forming beneath, the illusion slipping as her chest fights for space inside a bra never meant to hold both stuffing and reality. Breaths come shallow and sharp, her corset remains unforgiving, forcing each inhale to lift her shoulders slightly. Her mask traps the rising heat, fogging her breath against the inside fabric as she subtly fans herself when she thinks no one's watching. Her cheeks shimmer despite thick foundation, a sheen of sweat tracing just beneath her eyes, causing her carefully painted eyeliner to blur ever so slightly, while her fingers reflexively reach for her compact to blot and conceal the betraying gloss. Even her signature twirls have lost their effortless spark. Her skirt swishing slightly delayed, her motions no longer airy but measured, grounded by the round weight collecting beneath the frills, betraying the effort it takes to stay composed. Her waist has softened, your fingers sinking into warm, delicate fat. Momo pouts.
Hey, you're really into this, huh?
Her black skirt bunches as she leans back, belly gently doming up.
I should diet, but you like this, right? So I'll keep it for you.
Momo steps onto the scale with the same coy smile, but when she looks down her eyes go wide. Her pastel top now hugs tighter across her chest, the sleeves slightly stretched. Her skirt flutters less when she moves, held back by fuller thighs. Her figure has filled out noticeably, but she keeps her voice light. Wait, Momo, wait.
Wait, huh? That can't be right.
She runs a hand down her side, blinking, then glances quickly at you.
I must have left a soda can in my pocket or something.
You turn a corner and spot Momo once again loitering near the light dumbbells, now in a pair of high-waisted shorts that cling tighter than before.
Hey Lily, think I'm stronger yet?
She grabs 2 5-pound weights and holds them like they're 20, arms trembling, body wobbling in mock desperation.
HNN it's too much, tell my story.
She lowers into a squat dramatically, chest bouncing as she fakes a struggle. Though the jiggle in her arms and the way her belly peeks from under her crop top say, she's definitely growing softer. Her thighs spread as she crouches, no longer staying perfectly toned. There's softness now, her legs pressing together slightly.
I need a cake after this.
She lets the weights clatter softly back to the rack and collapses onto a nearby mat, arms splayed out, playing dead.
5 pounds is basically a mountain. I deserve rewards.
You and Momo wander through the mall when her gasp pierces the air again. You know that sound by now.
It's still here, and look, that bunny's even chunkier now. It's fate, Lily.
She skips forward, but you notice her skirt sways heavier behind her now, brushing her thickening thighs with each hop. She throws herself against the claw machine, and this time the impact is softer, but deeper. Her breasts hit the glass and spread more than before, the impact muffled by the extra softness pressing into the panel. Her belly now gently meets the base of the machine, creating a second patch of fog as she exhales in excitement. You glance down, catching the same flash as before, black lace glinting under the lights, but this time it's a bit harder to see. Her butt has thickened, the curvature more pronounced, cheeks fuller and pulling the fabric deeper between them.
Oh my gosh, look how many are inside. The bunny's got a family, we need all of them, I'm serious.
She leans left and right, chest flattening more across the panel with each shift. It squeaks audibly now as her breasts splay outward, heavier and harder to contain.
Get one for me, please, you're my hero, my vending machine champion.
She turns back to grin at you, chest rising into the glass with emotion, eyes bright with anticipation.
If you win, I might even name it Lily Jr. or Sir Fluffalump, depends how generous you are.
Her belly swells noticeably, pushing against the corset as she eagerly downs bigger bites. Her face flushes bright as she swallows another bite, the hard dome pressing painfully against the lace. Her corset creaks faintly under the pressure, so tightly laced that her rounded belly now bulges firmly above it, pressing out like a stuffed dome. The strain is unmistakable, every breath a visible battle to hold together her delicate, curated appearance. The blouse's seams along her bust and midriff pucker dramatically, her carefully stuffed bra overwhelmed by the real mass growing beneath. Her bustline now looks swollen and asymmetrical, straining lace edges as she fidgets constantly to keep it convincing. Sweat beads along her brow, thick lashes clinging together under the weight of her smudging mascara. Her mask, pulled higher now, hides parted lips gasping softly, each breath dragging against her lungs in the ever-tighter corset's shrinking cage. One hand clutches a handkerchief, the other her compact mirror, her fingertips trembling as she dabs repeatedly at the uneven blush spreading across her cheeks. An obvious effort to maintain the illusion as her skin flushes deeper with exertion. Her skirt ripples less from twirls and more from her shifting stance, thighs brushing subtly now as she balances the weight beneath her blouse. Each motion is overly practiced, desperate to distract from the pressure visibly building beneath her frills. She clutches your arm and hides her blushing face.
It's not fair when your hands feel this good.
You spot Momo weaving through the cafe, her arms full, 2 plates this time, each stacked with slices of rich chocolate cake.
Okay, don't judge, I couldn't choose.
She sets both plates down with a cheerful thud, sliding into the seat beside you. Her thighs press together more now, the soft squish of her stockinged legs noticeable as she settles in. She picks up a fork and immediately scoops a bite for you.
Here you go, you better savor it.
Then, without missing a beat, she turns the other fork toward herself, double-wielding utensils like a dessert warrior. Her chest shifts as she leans in, heavier than before, her frilly blouse straining slightly over the real curves developing beneath. She hums with delight, lips glossed with chocolate and cream.
MMMF, this one's mine, you can have one bite if you're good.
She wiggles her shoulders playfully, eating faster than she means to. Her belly now softly rounds beneath the table, and her skirt rises just a little more from the pressure of her thighs.
Sharing is caring, but I'm caring a lot today, okay?
The cafe hums with a low buzz, soft music, clinking cups and quiet chatter. You're seated in a cozy corner booth, and across from you, Momo is already sipping a drink she clearly didn't wait for you to order. Her blouse today is even tighter than usual, soft cream-colored satin with 2 small buttons struggling to hold across her chest. A fitted black corset cinches her waist, but the bottom hem of her blouse keeps riding up, exposing the growing softness of her lower belly. Despite the outfit clearly fighting for survival, Momo acts totally oblivious. She leans forward on the table, resting her elbows and puffing out her chest ever so slightly.
I got this blouse online. It's called Maximum Tease Energy or something. I think it's working, don't you?
She wiggles in her seat for emphasis, bouncing her chest just enough for the top button to visibly tremble. A soft creak escapes from under the table as her corset compresses tighter with her breath. Her second drink arrives. Before you can even offer to split it, she snatches it and takes a long sip, then another.
MMMFFF, this one's got whipped cream, I deserve this. My body is under constant strain trying to stay this cute.
She slurps dramatically and leans back in her seat with a heavy sigh. Her belly presses gently into her corset now, the one slim silhouette showing the earliest signs of rounding. The fabric of her blouse wrinkles awkwardly as it tries to stretch over 2 conflicting curves.
I think I might be getting food baby twins in here.
She shifts to adjust her posture and pop. The top button of her blouse suddenly ejects across the table, clattering off your glass.
Hey!
The abrupt movement sends the remaining buttons pulling apart slightly, and in the blink of an eye, the illusion collapses. Bits of white tissue and padding poke out from under her lacy bra, which itself is looking very shallow. Momo freezes.
And no one saw that right.
You glance down, trying not to stare. Her corset, now straining to hold the growing bulge of her little tummy in place, creaks again as she tries to sit upright.
Okay, I can explain.
She grabs the frog plush from her bag and holds it awkwardly against her chest, covering the unraveling mess with a flustered grin.
It's called being resourceful. Visual enhancement, it's totally normal.
You raise a brow, she groans.
Ugh, I can't believe I popped a button and outed my whole chest fraud at the same time.
She gathers her things quickly, standing up as discreetly as she can, though her blouse now hangs open just enough to keep her hugging the plush to her chest the entire time.
I wasn't stuffing it that much anyway, and for the record.
She pauses dramatically at the edge of the booth.
I'm totally gonna grow into it, naturally you'll see.
Without waiting for a reply, she turns and hurries toward the door, clutching the frog plush like a shield, corset squeaking with every step as the soft beginnings of a belly push more obviously against it. Her flustered retreat is almost silent, except for the faint sound of a second button giving way halfway across the cafe. Your fingers trace the upper curve of her belly, and she twitches.
If I get too soft, you better still call me cute.
Momo's corset, once a sculptor of fantasies, now looks like armor under siege. Her upper belly swells high above its line, forming a pillowy mound that rounds out her silhouette despite the sheer tightness of the garment's grip. Her blouse, delicately frilled, no longer drapes, it stretches, drawn tightly across her chest and midsection. Her once luxurious posture now seems rigid, stiffened by both restraint and the struggle to conceal how much her body has overtaken its design. The padding in her bra has long been removed, there's no need. Her bust fills the cups on its own now, but still she props it higher with a push-up bra, adding false lift atop real weight, creating a shape that's eye-catching but increasingly hard to manage. Makeup is applied with theatrical precision, but even thick layers of powder can't hide the constant gleam of sweat at her temples. Her mask is glued in place, hiding the constant flutter of her lips as she gulps shallow breaths beneath its fabric. Every movement is laced with hesitation. Her skirt swishes a half-second too late, her steps shorter, more calculated. The illusion still holds, but only through force of will, frills and bows trembling over the tension swelling beneath. Your touch elicits a surprised gasp.
Don't grab so deep, unless you want me to melt all over you.
Momo eats with open enthusiasm, her round stomach jiggling with each eager swallow. Momo eats with open enthusiasm, her round stomach jiggling with each eager swallow. She's finally abandoned the corset, letting her growing belly push freely against her blouse. As you pass through the arcade hall again, Momo suddenly stops walking and clutches your arm with both hands.
Wait, Lily, look at that one.
You follow her gaze to a claw machine stuffed with oversized plush bunnies. And at the center, a bunny so plump, its ears look like tired noodles.
That one is the queen, I need her. I need her in my arms or on my pillow or both.
Before you can object, she shuffles quickly toward the machine. Her hips now sway with an unmistakable wobble, thighs grazing with each step. She presses into the claw machine hard. Her large breasts spread almost comically across the glass, doming out as the cold surface squishes them like matcha. The glass fogs over nearly instantly, her warm breath and body heat clinging to the surface. Below, her belly now rests against the edge panel, rounding outward with a soft fold pressing into the coin slot as she leans down. Her skirt lifts again, but this time the sight is fleeting. Her ass is now broad and plush, swallowing most of her panties between the cheeks. Only the faintest glimpse of black lace is visible, buried and straining between her doughy curves. Her thick thighs spread slightly outward, legs bracing against the base, her entire lower body anchoring into the machine.
Come on, you got this. I believe in your claw powers. I'll give you 3 kisses, maybe 4 if it's pink.
She rocks her hips in place, chest jiggling against the glass, body creating faint creaks as she bounces.
If this thing doesn't come home with me, I swear I'm shaking the whole cabinet.
She pouts and leans even further in, now practically forming a Momo-shaped imprint on the glass. Between her soft moans of excitement and the way her skirt barely covers anything, you're not sure anyone else could make a claw machine look quite this scandalous. You spot Momo sauntering down the beach toward you, and your jaw nearly drops. Gone is the hoodie, the timid giggles, the layers of excuses. In their place, a frilly black bikini that clings to every curve of her new, unapologetically plush figure. Her body jiggles with every confident step. Her thick thighs brush together, soft flesh wobbling under the tight strings of her bottoms. Her belly rounds gently outward now, pale and smooth in the midday sun, a slight crease forming just beneath her navel where it folds as she moves. But what catches your attention most is her chest. Full, weighty, real now, no padding, no illusion. Her heavy breasts push against the frilly bikini top, straining the delicate black lace as they bounce with each step.
TCH, you're staring, you better be.
She stops right in front of you and leans forward, her cleavage pooling downward as her arms squeeze her chest slightly together.
All that time I spent stuffing my bras and now I've got the real thing. And it jiggles a lot.
She gives a little bounce in place just to prove it. Her chest responds with a slow, heavy wobble, softer, deeper than anything fabric could ever fake. Her frills flutter, doing nothing to contain the motion.
Kinda makes you wanna stare, touch too. Too bad you just get the show.
She twirls slowly in the sand, her wide hips swaying in a deliberate tease, the strings of her bikini bottoms digging deep into her sides as they fight to stay tied.
Anyway, I brought shaved ice. 3 cups all for me, unless you beg.
She flops onto the towel beside you with a soft grunt, her body spilling outward naturally. Her thick thigh presses flush against yours, warm, pliant, inescapable. Her breasts rest against her belly now as she leans back, the weight of them visible in the way her top dips and stretches.
You know, I used to hide. Now I think I might start charging for this view.
She scoops a bite of syrupy peach shaved ice and slowly slides it past her lips, then closes her eyes and moans dramatically as it melts on her tongue.
MMMNF, if I get any bigger, we'll need a bigger towel. Or maybe just more of you to lay on.
You find Momo standing in front of the dumbbell rack again. But now her stance is wider, her hips rounder, and her belly visible beneath a strained tank top.
Lily, I think I found my match. The 5-pounders again, wish me luck.
She lifts one with exaggerated effort, her arms wobbling for real this time. Not from the weight, but from the plush softness jiggling beneath her sleeves.
It's so heavy, I'm gonna pop a shoulder.
Her breasts bounce wildly as she rocks side to side, sweat beading lightly on her forehead. Her lower belly jiggles subtly with each fake lift, pressing out against her waist bend. She squats again, but this time her plush thighs spread far across the mat, pressing outward, almost overlapping. Her ass sits deeper now, cheeks forming visible curves through her tight shorts, and her breathing is noticeably heavier, though her smirk never fades.
I am basically an athlete, right?
She drops the weights with a squeak and flops onto her back, belly shifting with the motion.
Emergency carbs, please. I earned dessert just for surviving that.
The dorm is dark and quiet, until you hear a faint, desperate slurping noise from the common room. You follow it cautiously, only to find Momo hunched over a large carton of milk on the couch, chugging it like her life depends on it.
MMMFGH.
She jumps when she notices you, quickly wiping her mouth with the back of her sleeve. Her face is flushed, and the milk carton in her lap is already half empty.
Hey, this isn't what it looks like.
She's dressed in sleepwear, a too small camisole clinging to her chest, and a pair of pajama shorts that ride high on her plush thighs. Below that, her corset is still strapped tight, doing its best to control the soft swell of her increasingly pudgy belly. It forms a visible bulge under her camisole, the flesh above it faintly puffing out.
Okay, fine, it is what it looks like.
She pats the milk carton like it's a loyal companion.
Someone online said milk makes your boobs bigger, okay. I'm putting in the work.
She lifts the carton again with both hands, her arms trembling slightly under the weight as she guzzles more. Her cheeks puff out adorably with each gulp, and as she drinks, the soft roundness of her stomach visibly pushes harder against the corset's boning. A quiet creak follows every swallow.
MMFFF, HGH and an NGH, almost done.
She lowers the carton, wheezing slightly, her belly now rounded and taut above the waistline of her shorts. The corset compresses it mercilessly, causing the soft upper swell to squish outward and visibly rise and fall with her breathing.
I think I'm like 85% milk right now.
You move to help as she tries to lift the second carton, her hands wobbling and fingers slick from condensation.
Wait, you're seriously helping me do this? You're not gonna tease me again?
Well, it's kinda working.
You noticed? I knew it. They're finally more than just folded socks.
She puffs her chest proudly, her camisole straining as the moderate fullness of her chest jiggles slightly from the motion. There's clearly more there now, and it doesn't look like it's stuffed this time. You steady the milk carton while she leans back, mouth open like a baby bird.
Okay, pour it slowly.
Eventually, she downs the second carton and flops backward onto the couch with a groan. Her belly is fully rounded now, corset lines faintly dug into her skin where the fabric rides up. The bottom of her camisole barely covers the soft rise of her tummy.
Ugh, why did boobs have to come with side effects?
She tries to sit up, but her swollen belly sloshes slightly under the corset pressure, making her wince.
Okay, new plan, milk in the morning, stretchy pajamas at night.
She looks down at her chest, giving it an experimental bounce with both hands.
They're kinda cute now, right? Like at least a real B-cup.
You nod, she smirks and snuggles back into the couch, half drunk on dairy and pride.
Next time you catch me doing this, I expect applause.
Her belly lets out a quiet gurgle. She doesn't move, just pats it gently and mumbles something about milk science before dozing off. Without the corset, her belly reigns unchecked. A prominent orb of softness that surges outward and shifts with each movement, full and jiggling, no longer confined by fabric or force, but instead claiming space boldly. Her blouse has surrendered entirely to her upper belly's growth, the bottom few buttons unfastened or missing. A strip of pale, plush skin peeks from beneath the fabric, undulating gently as she shifts and breathes through the effort. Her breasts swell above the curve of her exposed stomach, soft and heavy, contained in name only by a struggling bra. The top jiggles violently when she moves, wobbling with each step, pressing into her blouse's seams like rising dough. Mask rides low now, unable to hide the way her mouth falls open between panting breaths. Her entire face is flushed, eyeliner smudged, a sheen of sweat giving her skin a humid glow that her frantic compact dabs only highlight further. She holds herself tightly, arms drawn in, thighs pressed close, but her softness pushes outward regardless. With the corset gone, her figure is bolder, fuller, and unmistakably round. The illusion of restraint has vanished completely. Her corset long discarded, the upper swell of her tummy quivers with each breath.
You better still say I'm cute, even when I'm huge.
Momo steps slowly onto the scale, her top now straining across her bust, clearly upgraded to cup a much fuller chest. The neckline dips lower than before, and her skirt is tight enough that her soft lower belly presses visibly into the waistband. She blinks at the number, then immediately cups both breasts in her hands, lifting them playfully with a small gasp. Wait, Momo, wait, 0.1 FKG.
Oh, wow, I guess. It's all going up here, huh?
She laughs nervously, but her cheeks are glowing. Her bust does look bigger, but not big enough to explain her thicker thighs or the way her belly softens out beneath her navel.
I mean, maybe just a little everywhere else. But mostly boobs, definitely.
In the cozy back corner of the cafe, two girls sit across from each other, each with a sweating cup of boba tea and an equally ridiculous idea. The challenge, no hands, first to finish their drink using only their cleavage. Momo is already flushed, arms awkwardly crossed beneath her chest, pushing it upward with all her strength. Her frilly pink blouse quivers as her modest bust strains beneath her efforts. Her corset compresses her slightly puffed belly beneath it, the pressure adding a wobbly tension to her already awkward posture.
NNNGH, I can do this.
She wedges the cold cup between her pressed-together breasts, the plastic clinking faintly as it nestles into place barely. Her eyes dart downward nervously, the cup wobbles perilously.
Don't fall, stay right there.
She adjusts again, arms trembling from the effort of manually mashing her breasts together just enough to hold the drink in place. Her puffed cheeks pout with effort. Across from her, Lucy remains perfectly upright, her long frame elegant, expression serene. Her drink rests neatly between her gargantuan breasts, utterly dwarfed by the pillowy shelf of cleavage. The plastic cup sinks slightly under its own weight, cushioned on both sides by soft, pale mounds that gently cradle it. Lucy blinks softly, hands folded politely in her lap.
I like this.
Momo stares, slack-jawed. Her eyes trace the outline of Lucy's cup, half buried in a valley of plushness that seems to deepen by the second.
How is it just sitting there like that?
Lucy shifts nervously. Her enormous bust jiggles faintly with the motion, and the cup gives a subtle, ominous slide, condensation coating the smooth plastic.
It's slipping.
A single droplet of cold water slides down the cup, disappearing into the depths of her cleavage. Lucy lets out a soft, surprised squeak as the cup inches deeper, sucked downward by the sheer gravitational pull of her overwhelming bust. She leans back slightly to halt it, but the motion only causes her chest to rise and shift, fwomp, enveloping more of the drink.
You're not even trying, it's just swallowed it. Meanwhile, I'm over here trying to make cleavage like it's a science experiment.
Her arms shake slightly as she pushes harder, creating the illusion of a tight press. The cup trembles in its makeshift cradle, a single tapioca ball bouncing near the straw. She leans forward, mouth poised, trying desperately to sip without letting the drink fall.
Here goes.
Her lips wrap around the straw, she inhales, slurp, gurgle, slosh. Her cheeks puff adorably as she gulps quickly, her expression one of determination and desperation. Lucy watches in silence, her own cup now almost halfway buried between her breasts. Her corset strains ever so slightly under the shifting weight, fabric creaking faintly. Another slide, shlick, and the straw vanishes entirely between her bust. Her
I can't even reach it anymore.
Momo lets out a frustrated whimper mid-sip, pulling her lips away with a gasp.
Ugh, my arms are going numb, and it's still slipping.
She readjusts for the 5th time, her frilly top hiking upward from the pressure. Her corset groans softly under her now slightly more rounded belly, visibly reacting to all the breathless effort. Lucy is meanwhile frozen in place, arms still at her sides, cup now nearly gone into the shadows of her cavernous cleavage.
And maybe, if I lean forward a little.
She leans, and the cup slides even deeper with a soft plop, disappearing completely.
Oh no. Did you just lose the drink? Well, at least mine's still visible.
She puffs her cheeks with pride, arms still clamped beneath her chest. Her drink wobbles dangerously, but holds.
Even if my arms feel like they're gonna fall off. Why you win, Momo? I can't even reach mine anymore.
Lucy tries to fish the straw out, but her breasts are too large, too soft, too tightly pressed for her fingers to dig deep enough.
Technically I win, but...
Momo lets her arms drop, the cup immediately toppling from her cleavage with a clatter. She slumps into the table, her belly gently pooling outward from beneath her corset, cheeks red, panting softly.
This was the dumbest genius idea I've ever had. It was fun.
They both exhale in unison, one flushed and aching, the other helplessly busty and now bobaless.